Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy, Dragon77, and in today's video, I would just like to make a quick video on the Custom Dualie Squelchers. So, if you guys didn't know, recently, the Custom Dualie Squelchers got announced, or formally announced. The kit got revealed on Twitter, on the Splatoon Twitter page, and I just kind of wanted to make a video on why I don't really think they're going to be good. I tried to make this video earlier, but I didn't really like the commentary. I felt like I was rambling and it went on too long, so I'm going to try to do it again, but just make it a bit more faster and concise and to the point. So without further ado, let's just get into it. And before anything, I just want to say that this is my opinion, so don't take anything I say here as fact. This is my opinion. I'm not a competitive player. However, I have played Dualie Squelchers since Splatoon 2. I made the Custom Dualie Squelchers back in that game, and when 3 rolled around, I switched to the Vanilla Dualie Squelchers since those are the only Dualie Squelchers that are in the game currently. So, and if you check my splash tag, as you can see, I have the 5-star Dualie Squelchers user sticker, which means I'm a 5-star Dualie Squelchers user. And so far, I've only got the 180 with Wavebreaker, but I'm sure one day I'll get the gold one. I don't know how many wins it is, but I know it's a decent amount. But anyways, I'm just putting that out there because, you know, I'm not a competitive player, so I'm not going to be giving high level insight. This is just my insight as a person who's made it since basically the beginning. So let's get into it. Why I think it's going to be some hot ass. A simple answer is it has beacon. Okay, it has beacon, and the reason you don't really want beacon is because it's just not good. All right, it's not that beacon itself is super bad. I mean, can be useful, you know, you just place them down and then you got super jump shots, but it's just that for a weapon like Dualie Squelchers, you don't really want beacon. Okay, the reason the current kit works for it is just because the weapon itself is actually pretty good, all right? But it's got a few drawbacks. Number one, there's 2 drawbacks that I can really see as a main. Number 1 is the kill time. This is pretty slow. And number 2 is the ink efficiency. If I just roll around a bunch, you see how fast my ink tank drains? Yeah, it's really fast. So it's got problems with kill time and ink efficiency. It's also got problems with bullet RNG. I mean, this is pretty bad. Sometimes it's good, but the RNG on it can be see, I was basically on it for a whole second there. Sometimes it wants to hit, sometimes it doesn't. The main problem is just the fact it's kill time, you know? This is slow. Compare this to something like Dapple Dualies. Boom. Well, I'm not gonna go with Dapple Dualies, but you get the idea. But luckily, to counteract that, VDS has the rest of the kit. Splat Bomb is actually really good for it, okay? Using Splat Bomb, you can basically just throw something and you can either get a one-shot, you can get a little bit of chip damage. The chip damage isn't really actually that helpful. It only makes it a 3-shot kill, but the problem is, let's see if I can get it. That's good, but the problem is you're so low on ink afterwards that, if you miss your shots, you're kind of just screwed, and you're gonna have to back off. Assuming you don't miss your shots, it's not the worst for it. The reason Splat Bomb is also really good, though, is because you can cover super jump landings. Let's say someone's super jumping right here, I could just go boom, boom, and they kind of just can't do anything. You can even go up, throw it up here, boom. Another reason is that you can pressure above walls, right? See, now if we go look at where the ink went, right? Oh, well, okay, let's try this. Ready? That's about the best you're gonna get when you try to go over a wall. Which, I mean, it's not bad, but you're not really damaging anything either. Now, if we compare this to chucking a Splat Bomb, you see how much further you can get that? It helps a lot with pressuring above walls, which is something the Squelchers kind of, with their poor kill time, they sometimes struggle to actually get in against someone like a Hydra or a Ballpoint or someone who's camping on top of, you know, one of the fucking platforms of the shipyard. Yeah, shipyard. So Splat Bomb really helps it in that regard, and but the thing is though, giving it Beacon doesn't really help it. See, you're going from Splat Bomb, which is really amazing for poking and shit, to fucking Beacon, which is really just not the best. Alright, because you place a beacon down and you and your teammates can jump to it. And that's it. It gives a little location effect if someone's near it, but that's not really that useful. It's really not that useful, you know? Like, oh, because the problem is you have to open your map for it to work. There's no mini-map in this game. You have to actually open your map to see the location, so unless you're like sharking or something, it's never really worth it. And this brings me to the next point. The thing is with Dualie Squelchers, from my opinion, there's really two ways you can play the weapon. You can stack a bunch of ink efficiency and a little bit of sub efficiency and shit, and play as like a skirmisher who kind of like helps your slayer teammates. You can either like you can distract people while your slayers actually like go in and kill them, or if the slayer is engaging them, you can go for like you can try to get a little pick kill like from range because you've got such good range. You can kind of get like a little, you know, let's just assume he had like a little bit more damage there. You can either be that, you know, or you can just be a little bitch and play quick respawn. But I could get into why quick respawn is an annoying gear ability and why I think that it's probably the second worst gear ability I've ever put in the game, but that's for another video. Anyway, so those are basically the two ways you can play it: quick respawn or just skirmisher, plain skirmisher. And the problem with the new kit is when you don't have a Splat Bomb, that means you're kind of stuck with the main weapon. And as we already found out, the main weapon's kill time kind of sucks. So you're kind of basically forced to play quick respawn with it, because beacons really aren't that useful for much else. And I get it, like, you know, Dualie Squelchers are supposed to be more of a supporting dualie, but I don't want to fucking play like that. I'm just keeping it real with you. I think a weapon like this would be much better if they gave it something like an actual good bomb, such as Burst Bomb. Like if they gave it Burst Bomb does 60 on contact, which would make it a 2-shot. 60 plus 56, that's a 2-shot. That's amazing. Okay, and even if you kind of miss slightly, I think it still does 35, which I believe makes this thing, I believe it's still a 3-shot, but it's like a really close 3-shot, you know, it's close to a 2-shot, even with the non-direct hit, so it's not bad. Wait, is it a 3-shot? Hold up. Yeah, it's a 3-shot. So something like Burst Bomb would have done wonders for this, because you can just throw it out, it's going to do a lot of damage, and you're going to have a much better time killing people. Yeah, Beacon just doesn't do that. I mean, honestly, even something like you know what would be good? Torpedo. Torpedo on Dualie Squelchers would be amazing, because it would force somebody to either, not only would they have to look at you rolling around like a wild animal, right? But they'd also have to deal with a torpedo. So anything that's like a slow slayer, like the sloshing machine, is gonna have a bad time fighting you. And sloshing machine, in my opinion, one of Dualie Squelchers', I wouldn't say worst matchups, but it's definitely not their best matchup because of the slow kill time you have. Oftentimes, I'm either gonna die or at least get a trade, you know? So something like, you know, Torpedo, even Auto Bomb would actually be pretty good. Auto Bomb or Point Sensor would be good, because Auto Bomb would force them to start moving, and then Point Sensor it wouldn't be as good as the other three, but what Point Sensor would do is it would let you take flights a little bit more slower and more methodical. And considering you probably outrange most Slayer weapons, you can kind of just like, you know, roll around here and then bing, you know, bing, bing, you know. You kind of get picked off in a slower fashion because you can see them the entire time whenever they try to like run and hide. But I mean, something like Squid Beacon just doesn't allow you to do any of that, and it's just really, it's just not good for it, you know. But that is not the only reason why the kit sucks. Okay, even if it has Beacon, it's like, okay, you know, it's got Beacon, but who cares? I mean, Wiper's got Beacon, and that's still gonna be amazing. The Wiper Deco, because they give it a good special. They give it 10 missiles. So, if Wiper got such an amazing special as missiles with a sub with Beacon, that means obviously Squelchers got an amazing special too, right? It got Super Jump. It got Super Jump. Why is Super Jump bad? Well, it's not that it's bad. It's just not good, okay? The reason the kit right now works really well is because of Wave Breaker, okay? The main weapon combined with Splat Bomb is already pretty good, but then you get Wave Breaker. And Wave Breaker is good because it combos with Squelchers amazingly. Watch this, ready? If you get hit by a Wave Breaker once, you're a 2-shot. If you get hit by it twice, you're a 1-shot. And remember, Dualie Squelchers have range, so you can pick people off at a distance really easily. So having them become a 2 or even a 1-shot is really fucking good. Now, let's contrast this. What is the difference between this and Super Chump? Because Super Chump, the explosions actually do 60 damage. Well, the difference between Wave Breaker and Super Chump is, first of all, the Super Chumps just go everywhere, alright? If you get 2 direct hits of the Super Jump, it'll kill. But you're rarely gonna get 2 hits of the direct. The reason is because people can break the chumps. That's it. They can break the chumps. And now I'm probably here thinking, well, you can break the Wave Breaker too. Yes, except when you're breaking Wave Breaker, it's got like 300 HP instead of like 50 HP, whatever the fucking chumps have. They break way too easily. That's what I'm trying to get at here, okay? And another reason why Wave Breaker is just better is because, as well as getting confirmed damage on, whereas with Chump, you might hit, assuming you even hit them, which is not very likely because people can just break them or move out of the way because they take so long to explode. You might, if you get a direct hit, you get 60, but you're most likely getting an indirect hit, which only does like 25, I'm pretty sure. 25 is a 3-shot kill. But the difference between it being a 3-shot kill versus, well, first of all, a 3-shot kill is already worse than Wave Breaker, which makes it a 2-shot kill, right? But another thing, the reason why it's worse is because Wave Breaker, hold on, let me show this. If you hit someone with Wave Breaker, watch what happens. They get marked. Okay, look how many people I can see on the map now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. There was 8 people at one point. So on top of taking enough damage to make them 2-shot, I also have their location for a few seconds. And that's really good. Versus Chump, where you don't have their location, and you might get enough damage to make them 2-shot, but you're probably just gonna get, if anything, you're gonna get enough damage to make them 3-shot, which isn't as good. So you combine that with no location, and also just the fact that you might not hit anyone, as well as the fact that it's really only good for, like, the best you're gonna get is like a distraction, right? Yes, you can do that technique where you super jump to somebody in to hide your super jump, right? But that's really not as useful as people think it is, alright? I don't know why people seem to think that super jumping in is suddenly gonna make you amazing. If someone can cover your super jump, someone could kill the person that you're jumping to, and then they'll see your super jump. So even if you're running ninja super jump, they're still gonna be able to probably punish you. It's just like, it's just not good. I don't know what to tell you. And I'd say the final reason why the special doesn't work is because you can really only use it offensively and in certain situations. It's basically pretty fucking useless on tower control because the tower's just gonna move past the chumps like immediately, and again, they can be broken. On something like splat zones, it can be useful because it paints the zone, right? But what happens if you get a map that has 2 zones, such as Flounder Heights, which is used in a lot of tournaments? You're kind of just shit out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. You're just shit out of luck at that point because the chumps can only really cover one zone, and even then, again, people can just break them. So, are they really that good? Not really, because people are going to break the ones that are in their way, and they're just going to ignore the ones that are out of the way because they're out of the way. Versus, if you have something like a Wave Breaker, you could throw that in basically any situation, attack or defense. Because it's another fucking entity that's putting out waves, so the opponents have to look alive for that. They either have to jump or get out of the area, or break the Wave Breaker, which you can do, admittedly. However, if you don't have something with good object damage, then you're just wasting your time, and you're putting yourself in danger of getting splatted because you're not looking at the other team. You're looking at this Wave Breaker thing, right? And with chumps, you just don't have as many usage, you know? You could probably use them in clamblets if you're attacking, but, I mean, again, you're just gonna get more you're gonna get more value out of a Wave Breaker in that situation, because you can also defend with the Wave Breaker, like I said before. It's not the best for Rainmaker either, because, well, that's not true. It's actually not the worst for Rainmaker, but that's only because the maps are so cramped that most of the time, the places you're gonna be pushing are just so cramped that the chumps are gonna be so clumped up that even if they break like 1 or 2, there's going to be a few more ready to explode. But again, it only does like a little bit of damage, and they can get out of the way. And if it's not a direct shot, it doesn't do 60, it does like 25. So it's just not worth it. Plus it's RNG, okay? Super chumps are RNG. You can't actually choose where to place it. I could choose to place a wave breaker like in this little corner, and then anybody who's like over here is not gonna be able to get to it, you know? You can't really do that with super chumps, because the idea is that there's so many of them, they can't break all of them. But when the super chumps actually don't do much, there's just no point using them, alright? But even with super chumps, I think it wouldn't have been the worst fucking kit if it had a decent sub weapon. Like if it had gotten burst bomb or torpedo, I probably would have still used it. But because it has super chump and beacon, it's really just not worth using over the vanilla kit. I think the best way they really could have saved this kit is, well, the best way they could have gotten it is to give it a different special. I think rain would have been the best special it could have gotten, because chip damage off of rain is really good for something like Squelchers. I got so many, not only did I get like random ass picks with the rain of people who were not positioning well back in 2, but being able to combo off of the rain is really good with Squelchers. Admittedly, it's not as much of a confirmed combo as something like Wave Breaker, because rain does like chip damage over time, but it's still really good. If the opponent's been in the rain for like 2 or 3 seconds, then they're probably going to be 2 or 3 or even 2 shots, which again, as we already established, is really good for Dualie Squelchers. It's also would help you take care of more campy weapons that Squelchers have a hard time dealing with, such as like a Hydra Splatling on height, or an E-leader on height, you know? Rain forces them to basically move away from their position. On a lot of maps, if you have to move from your position, there's not too many other positions that you want to be in as a backliner. So it allows you to kind of use a get-off-me tool, but we didn't get rain, so, you know, what can you do? Some other special I think would have worked well would be Booyah Bomb, just because of the survivability. It would have allowed you to play a bit more of an aggressive Squelchers. I think Kraken also surprisingly would have not been the worst. But again, that would be for more of aggressive comp, and I actually don't think Kraken would be the best as opposed to Rain or Booyah Bomb, but again, it wouldn't be the worst. It would be better than Chumps, that's all I'm saying. Even Kraken would be better than Chumps. I mean, Tenna missiles and Crab Tank would be good, but that's because those things are good on like any weapon most of the time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. It's just, it's bad, man. I don't know. They really screwed up the Custom Dualie Squelcher kit. That's really what I'm really trying to get through with this video. So I'm most likely I might still use it just because I kind of want the badge, but once I get the badge, I don't think I'm ever gonna play that weapon again. It's just not useful in 9 times out of 10 compared to the Vanilla Dualie Squelchers. But again, that was just my opinion, alright? This is just my opinion on the weapon as a Dualie Squelcher main. I'm not a competitive player, so don't take what I'm saying here to heart. If you like the new kit, good for you. And you know what? Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe, like, when Sizzle Season drops, like, 3 weeks later, we'll find out that it's actually, like, the best weapon in the game somehow. I don't know. But I'm just saying, right now, I highly doubt it's going to be any good in both competitive and S+ Anarchy, or even X battles. That's all I really got for the day. Guys, enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one.